nothing when Honey Gold was activated. For the first time, I experienced Honey poaching my own affiliate commission. So how much of my stolen $35 commission did PayPal sharers cash back with my Honey account, aka the consumer? Brace yourselves, 89 points, which is equivalent to 89 cents.
What? What? Bro, he would have gotten $35. $35, they give it 89 cents. Bro, that's literally just a con.
Honey poached a $35 commission for doing nothing and rewarded me a grand total of 89 cents. Thanks,
Damn,
PayPal.
dude.
You really shouldn't have. Now, on to scenario 3. For you ladies out there, let's say you're looking for a new outfit. Your favorite influencer tries on something that slays, you click on their affiliate link and get to the checkout. But in this scenario, Honey knows it has nothing to offer. No coupon codes, no Honey Gold, yet it still pops up to announce absolutely nothing.
Oh my God, if you hit got it, does it still apply? To tab out of it? If you hit got it instead of exit, it applies it. No fucking way.
Annoying as fuck. Naturally, you click the got it button to get rid of the annoying dancing coin, and whoa, what's that? PayPal takes the sale. Why? Because fuck you, Mary, that's your commission. But wait, there's more. My personal favorite is when Honey has nothing to offer, so it pops up offering you to check out with PayPal, even though the option is already available at the checkout page. And of course, if you click the checkout button, PayPal poaches the sale.
Better crunch, better flavor. New crunchy tacos from Old El Paso.
This is a song about a legend. She's the quiet kind of legend. Is that you?
Classy.
Bro, this feels more like a virus than a fucking extension. Like, if I had Honey and it popped up that much, I would have just fucking gotten rid of it out of annoyance.
Honey uses any excuse possible to get that last click from the user. It's absolutely disgusting. I can't even begin to fathom how much money has been lost at the hands of this browser extension. Imagine being the influencers who promoted Honey, telling your audience, who, by the way, are the most likely to use your affiliate links, to download an app that poaches your affiliate sales. Now, to be clear, not every influencer who promoted Honey engages in affiliate marketing, so those who don't are obviously unaffected. But did any of the influencers who are engaging in affiliate marketing ever catch on to what Honey's been doing? Well, it turns out yes, at least one of them did. Linus Tech Tips, who have been promoting Honey since 2017. So here's
Oh my God, have they been ripping shit from him for 7 years?
how I found this out. You see, one day I was browsing Linus's forum to see if anyone had raised a red flag about Honey. And sure enough, back in 2020, someone sounded the alarm, but it was ultimately ignored. However, in 2022, a different user noticed that LMG were no longer promoting Honey and asked the team if they had been dropped as a sponsor, to which one of Linus's employees responded with, "We ended the partnership with Honey due to the way their service interacted with affiliate links." Essentially,
Yeah, they have to cover their own ass. No, this is a good response. This is a good response. Because if they go out and publicly slander Honey having worked with them, you sign a lot of contracts, right? So that's why, like, when I work with companies, if I end up not liking them, I can't really shit on them for a certain period of time if they're like dickheads, because they usually have like clauses where it's like good faith and you're supposed to be like nice. You do the ad and then afterwards, you don't have to talk about them, but you just can't talk shit. And so it's like, they have to be like, oh, well, we left them and we parted ways. Otherwise, that company will sue the fuck out of you.
if someone clicked on an affiliate link and then they use Honey and search for a deal, Honey will override that tracking link even if they don't find you a deal. That didn't jive with us, so we ended the partnership. Okay, so they had no idea this was happening, and it took them several
Oh, but then they switched to Karma, which doesn't do that.
years to catch on. That's
I've
quite
seen a lot of people work with Karma.
telling, because we're talking about a tech-savvy YouTube channel that's run by a very large team. The fact that it took them several years to figure this out, in my opinion, really underscores the deceptive nature with which Honey operates.
Well, because you're just assuming that your affiliate link is getting less money. You're assuming that you're performing less than you actually are.
Linus and his team didn't know, I can't imagine many other influencers would have known either. Now, I have to say, as a longtime viewer and supporter of Linus's channel, I'm incredibly disappointed they weren't more public with this discovery.
You think Karma doesn't do it? Karma does it as well? No.
But surely they must have realized the wider impact this could be having on the creator community, a community they're a part of. I think that matters. And it's not as though they only promoted honey once or twice. They did approximately 160 sponsored segments, all of which remain live on YouTube. Those videos have accumulated around 194 million views. According to my data, that makes Linus's company, LMG, the third largest promoter of honey on YouTube. So yeah, in my opinion, they should have made more noise about this. But what's truly baffling to me is that after LMG ended their partnership with Honey, they then went ahead and partnered with a company called Karma Now, a coupon browser extension that literally engages in similar behavior. Now, I did reach out to LMG about this situation, and I'll be honest, their response was not to my satisfaction. They didn't address the majority of my questions. However, they did at least provide some important context about their dealings with Honey. LMG stated that as soon as these issues with Honey were brought to us, we tried to work with them to remedy them. After a few calls, we were informed that they weren't willing to change, so we stopped working with them across all channels. So let me get this straight. One of Honey's biggest promoters goes to them and says, "Hey, can you please stop overriding our affiliate links?" And Honey effectively goes, "No."
Right. I think other people knew too, because you got to think, you make fucking jack shit from affiliate codes. You make nothing from affiliate. Maybe Linus Tech Tips makes a lot. I make fucking nothing from affiliate codes because the percentage is so low. What the company's paying you is worth you losing money to them monetarily from affiliate codes. So say Honey comes to me. I've never worked with Honey, but let's just use a hypothetical. Say Honey comes to me and they're like, "Hey, we'll pay you 10 grand, right, to do a fucking ad or some shit." You do an ad or 2 or 3 or however many they offer you, and you get that $10,000. They rip $3,000 of revenue off of you from affiliate codes, and they're stealing 3 grand from you, but you're still profiting 7. So a lot of creators are still probably just working with them going, "Well, I'll take the loss in affiliate rev because I'm not going to make that much money in affiliate rev comparable to just not taking the sponsor." Imagine Joe's sponsored by Honey after this. No. Knowing this, I would not work with Honey. If they came to me a month ago and they were like, "Hey, do you want to work with me?" I would have been like, "Yeah, sure." I would have no fucking idea. Now, no.
That just goes to show what little regard Honey has not only for content creators, but also their partners. Now, as for LMG's less than ideal response, I did press Linus's team to address the rest of my questions, but never heard back from them. But it's time to shift gears, because unfortunately, this scam runs much deeper than stolen affiliate commissions. It's time we talk about how Honey used these influencers to sell you a complete lie. How they sold you a product that was doing the opposite of what they promised. You see, as I was testing Honey across different stores, I was encountering a reoccurring issue. When I reached the checkout page, Honey would claim it couldn't find me any coupon codes. Yet when I searched manually, I found working codes with these. And even when Honey did find me a code, I was often able to find another code of better value.
Oh, that was better.
Kind of strange, given their claim that...
Well, thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is now a thing of the past.
Another oddity was that Honey would often only find me Honey-branded coupon codes, such as Honey 5 or Honey 10. Why would a store only have Honey-branded coupon codes? Kind of weird, right? But the biggest red flag was that when I tried submitting the better coupon codes I'd found, Honey wasn't adding them to their database. So why not? Well, eventually I figured out what was going on. It turns out
they're partnered with the companies that get those coupon codes to not take as much money away from those companies.
that one of the key benefits for stores partnering with Honey is that they are given full control over which coupon codes go live on the
Yup. I read that one because then the store makes more money. So they'll let Honey on their platform because then they'll go, okay, only give people 5% discount codes. Don't give them the 30s.
I discovered this while listening to a podcast produced by Honey, which appears to be aimed at attracting new businesses to joining their platform. In this podcast, an employee from the Australian clothing store, Princess Polly, discusses the benefits of partnering with Honey.
What would you say to any brand that is considered working with Honey but hasn't yet?
I would say missing out on converting customers. Like I said before, Gen Z is super discount savvy. You can't ignore the fact that they will hunt for discount codes and they might find a better deal. With Honey, you can also control the discount code percentage, which means they will potentially find a higher discount code on the internet. It literally lets you control the customer journey, convert and control the discount code percentage as well.
This is insane. she's basically
That just has to be, I think it's basically just false marketing, right? It's providing a promise of a product that isn't fulfilling what it's saying it'll do.
saying honey is great for businesses because it encourages users not to bother hunting.
No, it doesn't, because that's why they make you word those things in a very specific way. And this is where I'm going to give you insight on ads. When you do ads for companies, not ads like this, but just ads in general, every company generally has a set of words that you're not allowed to say. One of them is COVID. You're never allowed to mention COVID. Every fucking ad I've ever done has basically said, don't mention COVID. Don't mention COVID. Never mention the pandemic. Don't mention COVID because it pisses people off. You can't mention politics, obviously. But there's certain words, and it's like random words, like random buzzwords that you're not allowed to say, and then random like things that you have to say specifically. Like you can't say like, oh, this is an alternative to this. You have to say, well, this is a different version of this, because you can't say alternative because then that gets them in a legal bind if something does get proven to them where they're false marketing towards this. So they have to say legit, they have to exactly claim what they're saying as what their product does, or they have to be so generic that they can't be like found at suit of anything.
And it allows businesses to control which coupon codes are shared with consumers. Now, I was able to further verify this on Honey's website, specifically the FAQ page for partners, which clearly states, as a partner, you have control over the content hosted on the Honey platform.
This is so cool to hear. Maybe I'm just a nerd. Well, I'm glad you like it because most people hate when I talk about this. I love talking about this shit because most people don't know. You watch the ads every day on YouTube, right? Every YouTuber does these ads. Every YouTuber does ads, but you never know how that process works, right?
So yes, even if Honey knows of a coupon code that offers, say, 20% off, but a partnering store tells them, hey, only share a 5% off coupon.
And there's also, and now I'll give you more insight on a certain type of ads. There's two different types of ads. There's flat rate ads, and then there's CPM ads. CPM ads are how many views you get according to how much money you're gonna get paid, right? Sometimes they have a soft cap and a hard cap, and the different, okay, so there's two different types. There's a flat rate ad, which is where they're giving me money and I make them an ad, and if the video performs or not, I'm just getting paid the same. Right? And then there's ads where I have no guaranteed amount of money. There's just like a, hey, we're going to pay you $8 per 1,000 views. And there's a hard cap of $8,000, or there's a hard cap of $2,000, or like that. Right? And then there's ads where they give you a $2,000 flat rate or a $3,000 flat rate or whatever it is. And then they have a hard cap of whatever on view count. So there's ones where they incentivize you to put it in videos you know will do well. And then there's ones that are just flat rate. Flat rate are the best. By far. Flat rate are the best. I've done all of them, but flat rate are the best ads because then you don't have to worry about whether or not your video is going to perform, because there's videos I've done with that I've done ads for that are CPM based and the video underperforms, and then I get paid like $500, which is still a lot. But for me to promote a company to 100,000 people, for me to get paid $500 is not a fair trade. That's an unfair amount of money. And then I don't really do those ads anymore. $500 is still a shitload of money, but for me to basically pan a product to 100,000 people and get paid pennies for how much I'm doing it, so yeah, you know.
Honey wasn't finding you the best deals possible. They were intentionally withholding them from you for their own financial gain. This completely invalidates Honey's core value proposition to consumers. For years, they sold you the lie that they would find you every working coupon code on the internet and apply the best one to your cart. But nope, complete and utter lie. They have literally been feeding you coupon codes that were approved by the partnered stores who were paying them. And can I just say, the double messaging here is hilarious. Because on one hand, Honey has appealed to consumers by promising to find the best deals possible. But on the other hand, they appeal to businesses claiming that Honey helps prevent consumers from finding the best deals. It's absurd. Now, when you think about it, this all makes complete sense. I mean, why would any
because how else would the company itself make money?
online business pay Honey for sharing their highest value coupon codes with its 20 million users? That's not an appealing partnership.
I was just watching this video. It's nuts, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, I had no idea. Oh, the last thing I wanted to say about ads is there have been ads that have been so grueling to work with and companies that have been so bad that I cut the contract. You just leave. And there's some where you're too far in, and if they pay you all, most of the time you get paid net 30, net 45. So if I do an ad and I post an ad, I don't get paid until usually a month and a half after I do the ad, which is horrible, but I mean, it's just the creator space. It's how it works. So you do an ad and then you get paid a month and a half out. But yeah, so like there's ads that I've done in October that I still haven't been paid for. But but the way there have been companies that I've worked with where I film an ad and I spend an hour on an ad and I give them an ad and then they give me a reshoot and I do it again and they give me a reshoot and I do it again and then they tell me to scrap it and restart. And there's been times where I've done it and I've gotten mad and I'm never mad at my manager, but I'll hop on a call with him and I'll ramble about how the company's pissing me off, right? Not the actual game, but the people and the marketing people at these companies. The ads that I do, I never really have problems with. It's the people that they hire to get you to film an ad are a lot of the time unbearable to deal with. And they don't understand what will do well and what won't do well. And so they just fucking tell you to just make it this weird, just obviously ad fucking chucked at your face, like, download this app, download this, do this, do this, do this, and it fucking performs terribly. And then they bitch at me, and I'm like, dude, you made me reshoot it and refilm it fucking 9 times. No wonder it did bad. And 2 or 3 of those times that I've worked with them, I end up just dropping the ad. And I tell my manager, I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. Tell them to go fucking kick rocks. I'll literally just not take their money and just be like, I'm not doing it. And then they get mad. Then they get really mad because they have date lines that they need to fulfill certain revenue on because they have to spend a certain amount of money at a certain time. Otherwise, they don't get paid. And so they basically like they have like $100,000 that they have to spend in a certain amount of time. And if they don't spend it, they get a lesser cut the next period or term. And so I don't work with them and I drop them last minute. And then they don't fucking get that fee out or they don't have somebody to work with. 100K? No, not to me. I've never been paid $100,000 for an ad. 100K total to work with like 20, 30, 40 creators. If I got paid 100 racks for an ad, dude, I would have been retired fucking a year ago.
With this discovery, I decided to do a thorough audit of Honey's advertising campaigns. And yikes, the ads, the sponsorships, everywhere you look, it's lie after lie. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up going down as one of the most aggressive, shameless marketing scams of the century. Just look at this insane list of videos that were sponsored by Honey.
What's the most amount of money you've gotten paid from an ad? Not from an ad. I've gotten the most amount of money I've gotten. I'm not going to say, okay, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I just don't want to say a lot. Right? I'm not. It's not bragging. I'm just saying, like, you know, higher or lower. I won't do higher or lower. I got paid 5 figures for one. Right. But it was a partnership, right? So you basically have a lumped deal of like 4, 5, 6 ads you have to do over 5 months for a company, and then they pay you the straight fee. So there's ones where it's just a done and done deal, and then there's ones where it's like, hey, you film an ad for us in January, March, November, October, and April or some shit, and we're gonna pay you this. Right.
They sponsored almost...
So you're basically a drug dealer, yeah.
5,000 videos across roughly 1,000 different YouTube channels, racking up an unbelievable 7.8 billion views. Honestly, at this point in my investigation, I thought I'd seen the worst of it. I thought I understood the full picture of Honey's shady business model. But here's the thing. What I haven't told you is that there were instances where Honey would actually work really well, finding me incredible discounts that seemed almost too good to be true. Now, it wasn't very often, but enough to confuse me. And there were even times when they weren't poaching affiliate commissions by claiming the credit for sales. These inconsistencies bugged me. It didn't add up with everything else I had discovered. It was clear I was missing something. Well, once I finally figured out what that was, I uncovered an even darker side to PayPal's scam, one that targeted an entirely new victim.
Soon!
We started having problems where customers would get in touch via our support saying, oh, hey, I just tried to use this discount, this 60% off coupon, and it doesn't work. I'd be like, dude, that is not your discount. Like, how did you get that? And they'd be like, oh, it just showed up through the Honey extension.
Yeah, it costs us thousands, and I haven't even looked into how far back it went.
At the end of the day, like, you need to make the numbers work, and if Honey is going to steal 10% of your revenue all the time, you're going to have to raise prices at the end of the day, and it's just like a really awful business model.
Wow, so some companies have been raising prices in response. Dude, this is a fucking W channel. That was a nice video. We're calling it there, chat. W stream, I got a fucking dip. Video so sad, game so sad. If you have any videos over the last games you want to play, video so sad.
Antecedents 2.5 challenge and win from a pool of $250,000. If you manage to impress me, create a 30-second.
Oh, we could watch Honey's. The part 2 of the Honey video. How Honey's an evil business. We watched the first one so long ago. He released part 2. Exposing Honey's evil business model. Lock in.
PayPal does not want you seeing this video. A few hours ago, PayPal's lawyer sent me a cease and desist letter and requested Patreon take down my video under a copyright infringement claim.
Yo, getting a cease and desist from PayPal and then continuing to fucking post it is like a baller move, but also terrifying. I've gotten one cease and desist ever, and it was because I used I used an image in a TikTok I made 4 years ago, and they gave me a cease and desist like 2 months ago, and they were asking me to pay them like $1,000. And I was like, yo, I didn't even make money on your video. That was like before the fucking creator fund. And they were like, well, we want money. And I was like, I'm not paying. I'm not paying. Yeah, they wanted me to pay them off of like estimated revenue. I was like, yo, I used an image of your TikTok. You're a millionaire, Joe? Yeah, and I'm not giving some scam. Bro, I'm not going to be hyper specific. The video's taken down now. It was a picture of food. It was a picture of food. And he wanted me to give him $1,000 for the picture of food. Up your ass.
Consider this a
no. You can copyright that. I always say, too, I know I do react videos, right? And a lot of people will be like, yo, you don't make content of your own. You react videos. Number one, somewhat valid. You know, I can't sit here and be like, my content's entirely creative. I'm not as creative as any of these other guys that are making content, right? I'm a riff guy. I understand that. But what I will say is, I'm not like these other, motherfuckers will try to, when motherfuckers hate on me, they'll try to compare me to these reactors that literally just sit in the corner and go, and they turn a 20-minute video like they're reacting to a 20-minute video and their reaction post is 22 minutes. I cut down will have react videos that are 15 minutes in length be fucking 40 minutes long. I'm yapping. People complain that I talk too much in my reactions. That is a honest complaint I have been getting more and more, is that I talk too much. And I'm going to say, I don't give a fuck. I know if this becomes a YouTube video, there's going to be like, yo, 11 seconds in and he's 5 minutes yapping. I don't care. That's a good complaint to have. I'm talking too much. I'm transforming the content. Yeah, I'm Dante, also has that complaint. That's good. Like, and the other thing I'll say is when people are like, yo, you're stealing content, I have always said, if a creator reaches out to me and says they don't want me to react to their shit, I'll take it down. They can copyright my shit, or if they fucking want me to give them some sort of extra credit, I'll do that as well. I've always said, like, if they tell me to stop reacting them, I'll stop reacting them. No problem. I'm not going to be mad at them. I get it, right? Work for the sub. It's happened like twice, ever.
Direct attack against my
lighting's fucked up. All right, lock in.
Fundamental right. Seeing this video. A few hours ago, PayPal's lawyer sent me a cease and desist letter and requested Patreon take down my video under a copyright infringement claim. I consider this a direct attack against my fundamental rights as an independent journalist. PayPal has specifically taken issue with the fact that an anonymous source discovered Honey had left their source code exposed within their iOS app, which, if you know where to look, is publicly accessible. This anonymous source found the code and sent it to me. I reviewed the code for security research purposes, which is a protected act, and I only published relevant sections of the code that provide important context to the story, which I consider within the realm of public interest. Nevertheless, I have removed sections of the video containing said code, not because I believe PayPal are correct, but because I know they will have YouTube take this video down. It was only a small segment of the video, therefore I have made this decision quickly, under duress, and to proceed with this publication as quickly as possible. If PayPal...
Yo, YouTube and every social media, for that matter, are going heavy AI, content review, and it's ruining every platform. I'm going to have that take. TikTok is the worst culprit. They have no employees. They have no employees. Everything on TikTok is like AI review. AI flags videos and goes through shit. They have nobody working there. Literally nobody working there. It's impossible to fuck. They have no representatives. YouTube used to have a system where every big YouTuber had their own partner manager. And that partner manager would be, you know, obviously the partner manager of like 30 people, because you're not going to have one guy to one guy. You can't employ people just like that. But they barely have that now. And everything's AI. And it's always, I understand it being slightly AI, but like, dude, it's just like, yeah, it streamlines the process. It makes shit faster. It's not as efficient. It's not. Like, there has been endless times where I get a video age restricted or demonetized. I review it and it's instant denied. And it says a human reviewed your video and it's denied. And I'm like, yo, is there a motherfucker sitting at a security screen waiting for Joe Bartolozzi to hit review and then instant presses no? Like, I know damn well a human did not review that video and tell me that it's not okay to use, right? And I love YouTube. YouTube's not the worst of the bunch, right? They're better than many. They still do have people, and you can reach out to YouTube on multiple regards. I've talked to them before. I still think they're going down the wrong path, but I think they're still capable of working with. TikTok, on the other hand, is horrible. Everything's AI. And so in the same sense of that, it's like, dude, if PayPal like set a dispute, YouTube wouldn't even look into it. They would just go, okay, sure, and just take down this guy's video.
Thought this would stop me. They were sorely mistaken. Enjoy the video.
I don't trust Honey. I don't know what it is. I don't trust it. They push so much advertising. They push so much advertising. And then people are getting money out of it, and then people are saving money out of it, and that makes sense, but the other part doesn't make sense, and then something's going on here. Where's all this money coming from? I have a feeling there's gonna, in like a couple years, there's gonna be the great Honey conspiracy.
Well, now there's like, there's certain advertisers that spend more than others and ones that spend way more than others. And companies that spend a lot are like gambling agencies, like Cash App's really big in this space right now. And it makes sense because they're like a huge company that obviously rakes in revenue through, you know, people using their platform to spend money, right? Honey was so weird because they were spending at the same level as like DraftKings. But Honey marketed themselves as this company that like saved you money and was free to use. And so you're sitting there like, how the fuck are they investing millions of dollars into creators, potentially billions of dollars worldwide? Like they were paying Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber. How the fuck? What was Honey? Honey, I don't even know if it exists anymore. They probably do, but they're getting crazy lawsuits right now. Honey was like this scam ass fucking platform or like ad company that would be a browser extension on your computer and like input coupon codes automatically. So you didn't need to search for them. So whenever you bought something, you would just use Honey's code and then it would input something, save you 10%. And so on surface level, it made sense. But behind the scenes, part one, basically summarizing it, Honey would not give you the best code. They would give you worse codes that made it seem like you were saving money, but in reality, they were working with the businesses behind the scenes to give you codes to make it seem like things were on sale, when in reality, they weren't actually saving you money. They were actually making money on you. And they would also make money on commission through the code. So if creators were doing ads for Honey, and you used Honey as an extension, but then they shouted out another ad company that like they got like shared revenue on, like say like Gamer Subs, where I'm like, use code BART, right? But then if you had Honey, Honey would input their own code and then fuck over the creator. So they were screwing people, they were screwing creators, and they were taking your personal information.
PayPal's
all while they said they didn't do that.
Honey Money's
next vid, pal, yo, ban that kid.
saving browser extension is accused of scamming customers and YouTube creators.
The biggest YouTube scam has just been revealed.
The greatest scam in the history of the creator economy.
People have been getting influenced and scammed, and I've been a part of it.
It involves almost every high-profile creator that I can think of, including myself.
Honey paid a lot of influencers up front
while taking money out of their back pockets.
Whoa, that's a little shady, mind you.
Yeah, like you'd get your audience on Honey and say you got paid like 10K for an ad as a big ass creator. Like say you're fucking, you know, like Asmund Gold. I don't know if he ever did an ad for Honey, but say you're like, who's a big creator that did it? Like, or like Linus Tech Tips. Like say you're like Linus Tech Tips and you do an ad for Honey and they pay you like $12,000. up front, you're making money on them, but Honey behind your back is now taking your viewers that use your browser extension and making all of your revenue from your videos, like through other ads. All that revenue goes directly to them. So like behind your back, they're taking your money and they're also making every ad you do appear worse to the ad company because every code usage gets rerouted to them. So that's how they track your performance, right? So if I do an ad for a company, I say use code blank, they check a few things. The views on the video, they're checking clicks, and they're checking code usage. And those three things determine if they want to do an ad for you again. The first two are still shown, but Honey removes the third one. And the third one is the one that matters the most. Code usage is turnover rate. And new customers is what marketing is for. Getting a new customer is vastly more expensive than keeping one. And so when they get a code usage, that shows that your ad worked. But Honey removes that and makes it seem like your ad sucked. So to you, they're paying you money, but they're also fucking stabbing you in the dick while they're fucking doing it. So they're like, here. And they're just ruining the rest of the ads that you do for eternity.
Up front,
while taking money out of their back pockets.
Whoa, that's a little shady, mind you.
No way, that...
Brother.
Heilige Scheiße.
I'm the biggest Honey fan in the world. Ludwig, no!
They've also...
Bro, they make you say that shit, though. Talk about how much you like the company. Talk about how you use it every day.
Been lying.
Use a personal, say something personal.
To consumers.
They are clearly not giving the best coupon.
I use Honey all the time. Whenever I'm buying stuff, I use Honey. It inputs the code really easily.
Coupon codes and discounts to users.
If you have downloaded Honey, I do recommend removing it from your browser.
I do think that this investigation for Megalag will lead to a huge class action lawsuit against Honey.
So on behalf of creators everywhere, I have filed a class action lawsuit.
We're suing PayPal and Honey. Gamers Nexus is the lead plaintiff in a class action complaint filed against PayPal and its property, Honey.
Well, it's...
I forgot from the first video that PayPal owns Honey.
Safe to say PayPal's lawyers love my last video. But don't worry, PayPal, you know what they say. All press is good press, right?
Yo, PayPal's also a fucking old-ass UI, bro. Using PayPal feels like I'm back in, like, 2008, man. Like, it's terrible.
Let's see. Since releasing part 1 of my investigation, Honey has...
But it's, like, the only thing that people use. PayPal's like used to buy shit everywhere, but it's the worst platform.
It's lost over 6 million users. Google has changed their policies for browser extensions, blocking Honey from claiming undeserved commissions. And most significantly, PayPal has been slammed with over 20 class action lawsuits accusing them of wiretapping, computer hacking, unfair competition, consumer fraud, tortious
computer hacking,
interference, and unjust enrichment. Yikes, maybe not them. And unfortunately for PayPal, I suspect more lawsuits will be filed following the release of this video. Why? Well, you see, besides lying to consumers and stealing from influencers, Honey was also causing serious harm to small businesses. So much so that I believe brands have likely suffered millions of dollars in damages. But that's not all. In this video, you're also going to learn how Honey was collecting and sharing your data, and how they, in my opinion, illegally targeted minors through influencers such as Mr. Beast. Strong accusations, I know, but I have the receipts. I've reviewed internal data, Honey's source code, their pitch deck to investors, disturbing emails.
What, they were doing like a Facebook Mark Zuckerberg thing where they were selling people's info? Dude, anything that's like, I feel like the best thing that I've ever heard marketing-wise is if a product is free, you're the product. And I feel like that is the most true. Like, if you're not paying for the use of something or an item or anything, you're the product. You're the guy that's making that company money.
Between Honey and small business.
Whether it's selling your information or like using data or, you know, mining Bitcoin on your computer.
I've reviewed interviews and much, much more.
What about ripping a free Muha? If somebody just gave you a free Muha med, I think you are ripping straight vitamin E and you're probably gonna die.
You're about to get inside.
No one gives out a free card.
Into one of the most scummy, predatory business models I have ever seen. You'll also find out why my investigation has triggered multiple class action lawsuits against other corporate giants such as Microsoft, Capital One, Klarna, Rakuten, and Retail Me Not. Per usual, the views, allegations, and conclusions expressed in this series are my opinions based on evidence I have.
We are your product? In a content perspective, no. I'm like a middleman for YouTube, right? Like the way YouTube works, I don't run ads on Twitch, so you're not really the product. Like you just watch me for free unless you get ads for pre-rolls. But yeah, I mean, I provide content. I provide the product. YouTube is a company that YouTube's like a strip mall. I set up a shop. I bring in customers. YouTube sells the product in my strip mall. I'm just the guy out front bringing you in, right? I have my own little mini store at YouTube strip mall. I don't sell any products. I just sell my content, right? I just gather attention, right? I'm a guy doing tricks on the side. And if you come watch me, then they hit you with a Doritos ad. And then I get a cut of that. Right? Like, that's how it works.
Gathered, which will be shared throughout. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of the honey trap. There were many moments throughout this investigation where I thought I'd reached the end of the rabbit hole. I thought I understood everything there was to know about Honey's dirty business model. They were claiming the credit for sales they hadn't earned, poaching the affiliate commissions from content creators, and they were intentionally withholding discounts from users for their own financial gain, rendering the entire value behind their core product a lie. Kinda hard to believe it could get much worse than that, but unfortunately it does. And I realized this after noticing a strange but reoccurring anomaly. You see, in most cases, when Honey popped up at checkout and I clicked Apply Coupons, a discrete tab would open in the top left corner of my browser. That's Honey injecting a simulated referral click, attempting to claim the credit for a sale. But here's where things got weird. Every once in a while, I'd come across a store where, after clicking Apply Coupons, Honey wouldn't load their affiliate link. So why not? At first, I thought it might be a bug, but quickly ruled that out after noticing the same anomaly on multiple websites. Even stranger, when this would happen, I was generally finding better deals. So what gives? Well, for the longest time, I was under the assumption that Honey would only pop up on websites that had agreed to partner with them. But I couldn't have been more wrong. And I realized this after stumbling across a post on Shopify's community forum, where a store owner complained that Honey was leaking their coupon codes without their permission. And as I read through the replies, I could see other stores had the same issue. Now, this was a pivotal moment in my investigation because it turned my entire understanding of Honey's business model upside down. Until now, I was so focused on the impact Honey had on consumers and influencers that I didn't even think to consider the potential impact to businesses. Though in my defense, Honey consistently referred to the 30,000 stores on its platform as participating stores. So one would assume that every store on Honey's platform joined willingly and with consent. Yet clearly, that wasn't the case. So I reached out to several business owners to learn more.
Honey takes the codes that people use on our website, the discount codes, and makes them public to everybody who's using Honey.
We started having problems with...
Oh my God. So if you were just like some random guy that had a 20% off coupon code, then Honey would just leak that to all your customers? I mean, like, that's something that's good for the consumer, but terrible for a small business. Like, horrible for a small... Like, if you're trying to make money and you're just giving, like, a nice code out.
Customers would get in touch via our support website saying, oh, hey, I just tried to use this discount, this 60% off coupon, and it doesn't work. I'd be
60% off? I don't think there should ever be a coupon 60% off. What the fuck? I feel like 10, 25 tops. 60% off. Brother, what?
Like,
how are they making money?
We look into it. Like, dude, that is not your discount. Like, how did you get that? And they'd be like, oh, it just showed up through the Honey extension.
I hadn't heard about Honey before, and I was just hanging out on the couch with my girlfriend, and she made some comment about, oh, this app, Honey, that basically gives you all these coupon codes, and I think she asked if we were on it. I said no, and then she checked it out our website and said, oh, you actually are on it, and it's giving this 15 or 20% discount code. And so that's when I found out about it, and I was pretty shocked because I didn't know how long it had been going on for. yeah, it costs us.
Yeah, it costs them that. I feel like the only solution in this situation, if you're a small business owner, is get rid of coupons. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get rid of honey, but you could get rid of codes. Like, just don't allow coupon codes. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the... I'm not saying, like, honey's not in the wrong here. They are. But, like, that is a solution. It just sucks because then you can't give... There's no sales.
Thousands, and I haven't even looked into how far back it went, but I know we just ended the code right away.
Now...
Oh, so they could get rid of it.
If you think that sounds bad, well, trust me, it gets a whole lot worse.
Or the other loop around would be, like, a limited coupon number. You know what I mean? Like, if they just had on their website a 20% off code that only a few people had, and then Honey leaked it to everybody, and they were just spam using it, they lose thousands of dollars. The only other thing would be, like, a code that's usable, like, 100 times.
First,
and then it deletes.
It's important we understand the scale.
Would you have partnered with Honey in 2019? I didn't do social media then. I was never somebody that did a Honey ad because I wasn't on social media when Honey was, like, popping off. I mean, they probably did ads, like, early 2020 into COVID, but, like, I wasn't nearly big enough or even making money to get offers. But, I mean, on surface level, yeah, I probably would have taken it.
Of this issue. As you just heard, the store owners clearly never consented to being on Honey, so they can't possibly be among the so-called 30,000 participating stores, right? So what?
Okay, let me give you a rundown. When I get offered to do an ad, my manager hits me up. He says, do you want to do this ad? I go, do they have shit about them? And he'll go, yeah, no, or, you know, this, but it's been, you know, cut. It's been fixed. You know, like drama 5 years ago, but it's fine. And then I decide. If there's, like, shit about the company, no. Like, I generally stray away from, like, straight up AI shit or anything crypto related. Like, there's a lot of companies that are crypto related that want to pay me, like, crazy funny money. And I'm like, nah. Because I can't be like, yo, go fucking go invest in meme coins on this site. Like, I do DraftKings ads. Like, I've done sports betting ads. But, like, I stay away from straight up casinos, generally. Sports betting is kind of like the end that I'll go to, usually.
Was Honey lying to consumers?
I would do, like, an alcohol ad, though. I've said that. I would be, like, 21 or older. If, like, Corona wanted to pay me, I'd be like, fucking Jack Daniels.
Consumers about the true number of stores supported by its platform. And just how many stores did Honey add to its platform without consent? Was it hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands? Well, that's where things get interesting. You see, when I started combing...
Bad Dragon, I got sex toy offers, never did them. That one I was like, I didn't know though. Like, I did a Trojan ad, that was easy because it was just like, prevent STDs, use condoms, Trojan, right? But this one company reached out to me, it wasn't Bad Dragon, and I was like, I don't know.
Through the business side of Honey's website, I noticed...
Why do they use you for those types of ads? Demographic. Like, that company wanted to reach out to me because a large percentage of my YouTube audience is in their early 20s, and people in their early 20s would buy sex toys. So, like, that's just same thing with, like, DraftKings. Like, a large percentage of my audience is, like, men between 18 and 30. So it's like, those are the people that are either going to be using DraftKings or already do use other sports betting websites.
That Honey claims to only be partnered with 10,000 brands. That's 20,000 less than what they advertise to consumers. So I figured, okay, I guess 10,000 stores intentionally partnered with Honey, and the remaining 20,000 never signed up. Now, that would already be incredibly concerning and deeply misleading. But as it turns out, the deception is far worse than that. You see, as I continue digging...
Isn't sports betting 18 plus in the US? 21. Prediction markets are like a loophole in that, though.
I stumbled across this file from Honey's extension called supported domains, which gets loaded onto your computer when you install Honey. And this file contains a list of over 180,000 online stores.
Wow.
That's a massive discrepancy from what's advertised anywhere on Honey's website. Now, of course, we could start making assumptions based on those numbers alone, but we don't have to. because it just so happens that Honey also keeps detailed information for each of the online stores in this list.
Oh my God. The reason they give you the code on non-participating stores is because if they let you use the code, they can track down what you bought and then sell that information to other advertisers to make money on you and your purchasing habits.
And it's relative.
That's why every time, bro, you ever talk about something and then the next day you get an ad about it?
Relatively easy to access.
You're sitting there like,
that data. For example,
some hyper niche thing.
On Chrome, if we click Manage Extensions, turn on Developer Mode, click on the Service Worker for Honey, and click on the Network tab, we can now monitor what Honey does behind the scenes a little closer. So if we say visit apple.com, we can see that Honey is now accessing information from their database related to Apple. Looking at this one in particular, we can see that 2.9 million Honey users visited Apple's website in the past 30 days. We can also see that none of those users saved any money from coupons because, well, Honey has no coupon codes for Apple's website. We can even see internal support and monetization notes that were left by Honey's
just tracking everything you do online.
Employees. Interesting. Most importantly, however, we can also see that Honey has an affiliate link for Apple's website, confirming that Apple does have an affiliate partnership with Honey. But if we look at the same data for, say, Abercrombie & Fitch, we can see that Honey doesn't have an affiliate link, yet Honey is still offering coupon codes for that store. And sure enough, if we click Apply Coupons on Abercrombie & Fitch, Honey doesn't load an affiliate link through that infamous sneaky tab. Aha! Things are starting to make more sense. So, all I had to do now was collect this data for every store in Honey's database. The only problem is, collecting this data for one store is easy, but doing it for 180,000, that would literally take years. Unless, of course, you created a little program that automated the entire process, crawling through that massive list, scraping Honey's data.
Yo, bro, motherfuckers that understand computer coding are like too smart, man. Like, if you're able, bro, I remember I took coding in high school and it was like a fucking pain to even like figure out an Arduino kit to like make a light flicker at a certain rhythm. Like, for you to be able to like make a code to like comb 180,000 websites on like what it tracked for Honey, yo. Brady? Yeah, I mean, that's Brady, bro. Like, that shit's freaky. How do you know that?
Store by store, and
print word hello.
Neatly organizing the most relevant data points into a nice, easy to read spreadsheet. Well, that's exactly what we have here, but I can't take any credit for the spreadsheet because this was all the work of someone much better at this stuff than I am, and he goes by the name of Yelta. He's a developer.
Yo, imagine it was Brady. I know Yelta's probably better than Brady at this shit, but that'd be really funny if it's just like flashed like Brady's face.
A nice, easy to read spreadsheet. Well, that's
just my editor, Brady.
What we have here, but I can't take any credit for the spreadsheet because this was all the work of someone much better at this stuff than I am, and he goes thank him enough because holy shit, there is a treasure trove of data in this spreadsheet. We now have all the details for every store, every coupon code, every developer note, all curated into one lovely spreadsheet. It's
oh my god,
glorious. PayPal will not like me having this data, but too bad. And Yelta will be releasing this data publicly on Twitter shortly following the release of this video. Link to his Twitter is below, so make sure you give him a follow if you want to catch that drop. Alright, so now that we have this spreadsheet, we can finally confirm that at the time this data was collected, Honey supported 35,000 stores with affiliate links and an additional 146,000 stores without affiliate links. So yes, there was some truth to their claim of supporting 30,000 participating stores. They just conveniently left out the eeny-weeny fact that they dragged an additional 146,000 stores onto their platform, presumably without consent. Now, consider—
The problem is, like, I feel like the average consumer wouldn't really care because it's like they're more worried about like whether or not they're saving money versus if the company that, you know, it doesn't want to participate. Like, I would, I mean, you would, but I'm saying like if you ask a regular person on the street and they're like, yeah, they don't care, you would just be like, whatever. I get 20% off, who gives a fuck?
Look at this.
They could remove their code.
If you're Honey and your platform supports 180,000 stores, Surely you'd be screaming that from the rooftops, right? 180,000 sounds a whole lot more impressive than 30,000. Honey knows that, so why hide the real number? Clearly, Honey decided that keeping this little secret to themselves outweighed the benefits of advertising. Now, as a consumer, you might be thinking, so what if Honey leaks a few coupon codes? Even if a business never gave consent, surely that would just drive more sales for the business, right? Well, it's not that simple. Why? Well, you see, coupon codes are more than just discounts for consumers. They're also a vital marketing tool for businesses. Virtually all coupon codes have a strategic purpose behind them. For example, many online stores will offer a 10% discount as an incentive for signing up to their newsletter. The consumer gets a 10% discount, and the business gets your email address for marketing. It's a simple tit-for-tat exchange. But if Honey snatches up that coupon and makes it available to everyone, well, now the business is losing 10% while gaining nothing in return. The entire purpose behind that coupon code gets destroyed,
Oh my God, because the coupon code is free and accessible, but only through means of giving, like, your email or phone number to the company. But now you don't have to do that, and so the company just loses on the capability to market to you, so you're just getting raw fucking savings on the deal.
stripping away any incentive for the business to continue offering it. But it's not just newsletter coupons. Stores will also offer discounts to reward and maintain loyalty, like offering exclusive VIP codes to repeat high-value customers. Many businesses will even offer specialty discounts to military veterans or first responders, just to show their appreciation. But also, some businesses have private discounts.
All right, bro. Well, I gotta say, that's gotta be really fucked up. You're trying to buy a product and it's like military or like veteran 5, veteran 15, and you get 15% off. Like, wouldn't you feel kind of bad about using that? Like, you're getting a military discount because Honey input the fucking veteran code.
Discount codes like 50 or 80%.
Friend of Paul? What do you mean, friend of Paul? Bro, actually, no, that's literally Honey ripping like a family and friends discount code to get like 30% off.
Off that are strictly intended for use by employees.
Friend of Paul.
Or friends and family. So when Honey comes along,
employee 80? Yo. I gotta say that sucks, but imagine being the motherfucker that got Honey from a Mr. Beast video and you go to buy a product on some niche website and Honey just inputs an 80% discount code. You're probably sitting there like yo, in the moment, you're not upset. Like, in the moment, you're like, damn, that shit just saved me $140.
Intended for use by employees or friends and family. So when Honey comes along, finds all of these codes and hands them out like candy to its millions of users, not only does it cause...
On average, though, Honey saves you less money than, like, if you look for a code.
A negative strategic impact, but it also causes significant financial harm. In fact, this has become such a significant problem for online stores that there are now multiple paid services to help e-commerce stores block extensions like Honey. Even well-known retailers are paying to prevent these issues. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth does Honey get access to private coupon codes like employee discounts if they're not available to the public? Well, I came across this marketing podcast where they discussed the issue.
What happens is if I have Honey, for example, and I'm one of your best customers at your e-commerce store, and you decide you're going to do a promotion for your VIP customers, maybe it's a flash sale, and you send me a special code. I go to your website, I legitimately have that code from you, I type it into the promo code field at checkout. Because I have Honey in my browser, it is able to scrape that code then and give it to everybody who uses it. We've seen codes like Military Hero 30, clearly intended for a veteran. And then in another case, even worse, in another case, my CEO found a men's apparel brand where they had a $75 off coupon code, but they didn't set a minimum order value. And so...
What, so the store was giving you money back? What do you mean? $75 off, you could buy anything?
People were able to get unlimited...
Oh my God, free over and over again. Holy fuck. Bro, that probably felt like the Chase Bank glitch. Holy shit. You go on American Eagle, you get $75 off, you just buy a pair of jeans. Redo it. Buy a pair of jeans. Redo it. Buy a pair of jeans. You just start you just start getting money in product.
Merchandise free as long as they have their order value at $75 or under.
Okay, that's insane. But I have to admit, at first, I was a little skeptical of the claim that Honey was snatching codes from users without their consent. Because whenever I entered in a coupon code Honey didn't recognize, the extension would always ask for my permission before taking it. Or so I thought. But as it turns out, the moment you type in a coupon code, Honey immediately sends that code directly to their servers, and then they ask for your consent. How do I know? Well, you see, a developer who would like to remain anonymous noticed that Honey leaked their source code inside of their iOS app. Whoops. So this developer extracted the code and sent it to me. We can actually further verify this with a live example. Watch what Honey does in the background as I enter in this coupon. Honey realizes that it doesn't have this code yet and asks for my consent to share it. But look at this. Before I've clicked anything, Honey has already sent that coupon code to their server, including the details of...
So it's literally just a means of making you feel like you have control, when in reality hitting share or not share doesn't matter.
How much money that coupon saved me, all without my consent. Now, Honey might argue that if you click don't share, they never actually use those coupons. And maybe they don't. Maybe those codes just sit in their database doing nothing. We can't say for certain. However, if you read Honey's privacy policy, it explicitly states that they collect data such as coupons, promo codes, and deals you found. So while they ask for a user's consent, their privacy policy clearly allows them to take that data without it. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because when private codes get leaked, businesses don't just lose money, they're often left in the dark, unable to trace how those codes were exposed in the first place. I've personally found several coupon codes through Honey that were clearly intended for private use. This one coupon I found worked like a $35 gift voucher, meaning I could make unlimited free orders provided my cart value was $35.
Yo, I would have I'm being 100% honest, bro. If I was like 18 back when Honey was like, popping off, I would have fucking nonstop ordered shit, man. Like that would have literally been like Clash of Clans, free gems, glitch come true. Like I would have ran that shit up. Oh my God. If I was on a website, I don't even care what it was. I'd buy pounds of paper clips. Like if I was buying some shit from Staples and I got a $50 off gift card, I would just run that back 1,000,000 times.
Or under. When I alerted the business, they appeared to have no idea how the code had been leaked. Now, believe it or not, this nightmare for online stores only gets worse.
So we usually use discount codes as a way to track when influencers or partners are sending traffic to us so that we can identify the sale was...
That's what I was saying earlier.
...attributed to that influencer. And
that's what fucks over the influencers. That's why I'm always like, when I do just for gamer subs in general, like when I go use code BART and you use code BART, gamer subs tracks that. They get a tally, Somebody bought a drink or a cup or a shaker or whatever it is, a tub, using my code. And then you sometimes, depending on the company, might get a share of revenue, or they might pay you flat fee and then just see to track your usage and then re-up with another offer later on, because there's different types of ads. You do flat rate ads, you do view cap ads, and you do affiliate ads. Right? Flat rate ad, most ads that you see on YouTube, company pays you a flat fee, you do the ad, you shake hands and leave. They might come back to you a month later and go, we had a lot of code usages, we want to work with you again. They might pay you more or less, depending, or equal. Then you have view cap ads, which is ads where they go, hey, we're going to pay you a minimum of, say, $1,000, but you can max out at 500K views, and if you hit 500K views, we'll pay you this amount of money. And Is done a few of those, but they kind of suck because it's really dependent on viewer performance. And then they have just affiliate ads, which is like what your friend that has a Gymshark code does that is at your high school. And he says, Gymshark partner, use code Blake for 30% off or 20% off. He doesn't get paid from them. He just gets raw affiliate code revenue. That is also the same format of like many long-term partners that streamers do. You just get shared revenue.
Pay them a commission. So I think we saw one code started to get used like way more, and we were like, wow, we're paying this influencer so much, they're doing so well, and I was like a little bit suspicious.
A lot of times discount codes are the only way for you to understand if a YouTuber that you love and would love to partner with is actually driving incremental value to your business. Those codes would immediately get picked up by Honey, and then they'd be used.
It would be picked up by Honey, and then that influencer, then this company's seeing that influencer as a bad marketing person, right? They're seeing their audience is not engaging, and then that company never comes back.
Hundreds of thousands of times. And you'd be like, all right, like not only does that negatively impact our business, it was for that audience, but we have no idea which podcaster we should continue to support.
Now, if you're someone who listens to podcasts, you probably know exactly what Chip is talking about here. When brands advertise on podcasts, affiliate links aren't always practical. Listeners could be running, driving, or doing the laundry without easy access to a computer. So, instead, brands will provide podcasters with a unique coupon code. And each time the listener uses that coupon code at checkout, the podcaster earns a commission, just like an affiliate.
Oh my God, yo, I was watching Family Guy on the hotel fucking TV on cable when I was in New York. And there was I forgot how often ads show on cable TV. Every 5 minutes there was ads. And it was for this off-brand, it wasn't Dollar Shave Club. It was like an off-brand Dollar Shave Club. It spammed that ad a million times, and it spammed the same Nugenix ad every time. And it was this old fuck that used to be in the MLB that was like, yeah, like my dick doesn't get hard anymore. And then I use Nugenix, and like now I'm a big man again. I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I watching? And it was that ad over and over again. Bro, listen, this is relevant to the Honey story. Trust me, I'm going to loop it all back. He didn't actually say that. It was like this guy lifting, and it's like, yo, Robert, you look big. And he's like, thanks, man. I've been using Nugenix. Total T. Total T. You know, men over 40, their fucking testosterone goes lower, so they need to use this, and it makes them stronger and shit. And then it flashes to this big burly man that's like really fucking hot. And he goes, and she'll like it too. And it's basically saying like, hey, your dick will fucking work again. And then I got Vietnam flashbacks to when I used to work at GNC, and they used to tell me that I should tell that to old men. And I was like, oh my God. Because when I used to work at GNC, they used to sell Nugenix. And part of the selling point was like, hey, if you can't get hard, like, this might help. But, like, you got to nonchalantly bring that into the conversation. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because every ad break was a Nugenix ad, but every Nugenix ad break had a different discount code. It was the same ad, but it was like, use code HUNT20, use code MAN40, use code fucking CASH10. And it was like, text this number or some shit. It was stupid. Did you use them? No, but I almost texted the company because I was like, dude, what the fuck would it respond with? It was a different code every time.
So these are not your typical coupon codes. Behind them, you have an influencer that's trying to earn a living, you have a business paying to promote their product, and there's usually a contract binding the two together. Regardless.
Dude, I couldn't get over it too, man. It was just, and she'll like it too. Just say it.
Honey will step in, leak the codes to users, disrupting that business relationship. The result? Not only do brands end up losing money from the leaked discounts, on top of that, they're now forced to pay undeserved commissions to the influencers whose codes got leaked. It's easy to imagine how quickly something like this could spiral out of control. In fact, one business owner on Twitter reported losing $100,000 from this exact issue, and he only realized it happening several months later. It's no laughing matter. And if you think this is a huge win for influencers because they get paid a bunch of undeserved commissions, well, think again.
I mean, we basically pulled all out of the podcast realm because there was really no way to figure out how to attribute any successes or failures.
We basically can't do that anymore because as soon as a code becomes used by one person, it's suddenly used by everybody.
This is a nightmare situation for everyone involved, but not all businesses are affected equally. Honey's actions are especially devastating for small businesses that lack the resources of larger brands. The big retailers can push back. They have dedicated marketing teams, advanced analytic tools, and the legal muscle to respond. Smaller businesses, on the other hand, don't have that luxury. So when a multi-billion-dollar company like PayPal piles on more obstacles, it's not just frustrating, it's downright predatory. In fact, Made in Cookware CEO Chip perfectly summed up the devastating impact Honey's actions can have on a small business.
When you're in the early stages of building a business, you're in the stage of, will this company even work? Is there a product market fit? How do I scale this thing? Can the economics work, right? And so all the things we talked about, these discount codes and the kind of removal of attribution and killing margin, like those really affect the early stages of a company, from everything from where do I put the next dollar in to make sure I can survive, down to you're taking 10, 15, 20% of my sales without me wanting it. And we have digital marketing costs, we have shipping costs, we have all these stacks of costs that not only are getting more inflated over time, like FedEx has been raising their rates over time, warehousing.
Well, and being a small business is really hard because you already have to try and have competitive pricing to match other big retailers. And then when Honey's already slashing those codes, that you're still, in a profitable margin, but those codes are kind of making you really like tread the line there on like red and green in terms of profitability. Like it fucks you. Like that's why you don't really see small businesses anymore outside of like rural area, like really rural, that's hard. Really rural areas. Like when you're in the middle of nowhere, there's always like a local coffee shop and all this other shit. Or if you're in big cities, there's a mixture, but kind of like that in between town where you're that kid that hangs out at Walmart on Fridays. Like you never really fucking see small businesses anymore because those big companies that come in just steamroll everybody else. And now like that's hurting even more companies, especially in the online business where you're trying to fucking compete with Amazon. And you're just getting fucked.
Costs have gone up, COGS have gone up, as you know, through inflation for the last 4 or 5 years, right? Like all the cost structures have been going up, and to have someone just stealing and compressing the actual revenue you want, like puts small businesses in a real squeeze. It's just really disappointing, and it doesn't even work because at the end of the day, like you need to make the numbers work. And if Honey is going to steal 10% of your revenue all the time, you're going to have to raise prices at the end of the day to make up for that, right? And so it's not only not effective, but it makes it worse for the consumer. It compresses for the small business owner any margin. And it's just like a really awful business model. Like we've been so mad at them for so long.
Really sad. And Chip's point about the impact to consumers is especially important. If Honey's eroding profit margins from retailers and they're forced to increase prices, well, that ultimately affects consumers. Now, as you'd expect, these businesses don't just let these issues slide. Naturally, they reach out to Honey to complain, asking to be removed from the platform. And that, unfortunately, is where the story takes a much darker turn. You see, Honey is well aware of the inconvenience it creates for these online stores. So when they inevitably reach out to Honey, asking to be removed, does Honey oblige? Of course not. Instead, Honey goes, how about this? We'll give you full control over which coupons go live on our platform, but only if you partner with us. I kid you not.
Yo, that's like some Monopoly Man shit. Like that's like, that's actually crazy. Like, yo, we're not gonna take your shit off, but we will let you put codes, but you have to give us a cut.
In fact, Chip was kind enough to share his email exchanges with Honey from 2020. And you need to see it because holy shit, it's bad. Now, it is a long email chain, so I'm not going to read the entire thing, but you're welcome to pause to read the bits I skim over. Hi, I am the CEO of Made in Cookware. Please remove us from your app. You've scraped a private friends and family code from our checkout and put it on the platform for others to use. We've lost a bunch of revenue. 4 days later, Honey responds with, hi Chip, thanks for reaching out. Honey supports over 40,000 stores online, and we always prioritize protecting the Honey experience for users by supporting available stores and displaying available codes. We can absolutely remove the code in question. In order to protect the Honey experience for our users, we typically do not remove codes unless we have a working relationship. I mean, right off the bat, they're basically saying, we won't compromise the experience for our users unless you...
But what does the working relationship entail?
Pay us. Classy. We'd love to discuss how we can work more closely and partner with your brand. Chip replies the same day, we don't offer affiliate deals to coupon sites. We'd like to be removed from your site and extension completely. With the sales pitch not going to plan, Honey brings in their global partnerships manager, Kelly Rodick, who explains to Chip that,
hi Chip, jumping in here.
Oh my God, bro, the fucking email formality bullshit. Like, oh my
manager, Kelly Rodek, who explains to Chip that,
"Hi, Chip, jumping in here."
Oh my God, bro. The fucking email formality bullshit. Like, I get emails like this where they're like,
"Hey, we could really increase your views. By the way, my name's Brian. Nice to meet you."
fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Just talk to me like I'm a regular person, bro.
"Hi, Chip, jumping in here. Name's Kelly, and I work on the partnerships team here at Honey. I know this must be a headache, and I'm happy to..."
What is this fucking cookie cutter ass response, bro? It's like, that's why people hate customer service representatives, because they're literally reading a fucking slot in front of them on like what to say in response to you. Holy shit.
His leak code was added through Honey's user-generated coupon functionality. No surprises there. She completely ignores his request to be removed from the platform, only offering to remove the leaked employee discount. Chip replies the same day, "Our friends and family code was listed on your site. That was an internal code meant for a small group of people that was never published anywhere. Our whole site can't be removed from your app." Honey only responds a week later, confirming they removed the employee discount, but again, completely ignores Chip's request to be removed from Honey. Chip responds immediately, pushing for an answer, but they ignore his email completely. A month later, and Honey leaks another private discount code. "Hi, please remove from your app. That is a private code behind a private employee perk login. This should never be public. I don't understand how you feel taking a private employee perk and making that public to the world is helping our business."
Yo, Kelly Rodak is just dealing with pissed motherfuckers.
Honey responds, confirming they removed the code.
"Hi, Chip. Hi, Chip."
But instead of taking responsibility, they try shifting the blame onto Chip, suggesting his employees might be responsible for
"Is it possible that a made-in cookware employee is a Honey user?"
sharing the code with Honey. But given what we know about their system, I'm willing to bet Honey were responsible for the leak.
Bro, it's like that fake ass, it's like being fake nice. Like, I hate that. I'd rather somebody be a dickhead than like fake being nice.
Not Chip's employees. Honey then suggests that Chip creates single-use codes for each and every employee, essentially making it his responsibility to fix a problem they created in the first place. I would be fuming if this were my business. 2 months later, and another private code gets leaked. And once again, Chip asks to be completely removed from the platform. And this time, Honey finally addresses the question. We proudly host a...
Yo, lock in, bro. Stop asking me what's my go-to Wawa order, Bryce. A panini. Oven turkey, pepper jack cheese. If I could get mac on it, I would. Garlic sauce as well is amazing. Then I'm probably going to go... Fuck, man. What else? I mean, it really depends. You know, the drinks up for grabs. It could be a Propel. I could be getting like a vitamin water. I maybe not even get a drink, you know, or like a sugar-free.
Consistent shopping experience for all Honey shoppers who rely on our shopping tools. Therefore, we cannot disable Honey for individual stores and never have.
Would you ever do an ad for Cash App? Brother, I've done 10 ads for Cash App. Lock it!
Never have, huh? Well, that's interesting, because it just so happens that Andrew from TrueGrit Texture Supply also shared his email exchange with Honey. And would you believe it? He was dealing with the exact same Honey employee as Chip.
"Hi, Andrew. Thank you for your patience. I'm so sorry that you had an upset experience with our platform, Honey. I'm here to make sure that you love our product and that we can show that we love you. I'm sorry that we leaked your 90% off code that's only for disabled veterans. We're not going to remove it. What we could do is partner with you, and then we'll remove it. We're going to be taking 10% of your annual revenue. Does that sound like a good deal? Best, Kelly."
And while Honey attempted the same sales pitch with Andrew,
"We understand merchants may have coupon codes that are exclusive to a certain audience and are happy to work with you to create a solution that is mutually beneficial for both you and Honey users."
They did eventually remove his store from the platform. So yes, it is possible, and yes, they have done it before. Once again, we've caught Honey in yet another calculated and deliberate lie. And make no mistake, it was deliberate because this employee, Kelly, confirmed the removal of Andrew's store just 1 month before assuring Chip that Honey had never removed a store before. Honey clearly has the capability to remove stores, they just choose to enforce that decision selectively. Keep in mind, Honey knows exactly how many of their users are visiting a given store and how much they are spending. So exactly how many
Epic Games? What the fuck is there's Honey codes on Epic Games? What are you getting, fucking % off on V-Bucks?
many of their users are visiting a given store and how much they are spending. So I'd speculate that this selective enforcement comes entirely down to which stores Honey believes will make them the most money. Now, for the record, I didn't even get through that entire email chain between Chip and Honey. It goes on and on. And this behavior is not an isolated incident. It's a pattern.
When merchants discover their codes have leaked and then they want to clamp down on that, they go to these coupon extensions and plea and request to have their codes removed. And 9 times out of 10, the response is join our affiliate program and you'll have more granular control over that. And so I think merchants tend to feel a little bit as though they're being blackmailed or extorted, because you join the affiliate program and then you have to pay that coupon extension company every time somebody uses a code. And you're doing that in order to have them not share your codes.
I mean, this has got to be one of the most f***ed up business models I have ever seen. And let's be real about what's going on here. In my opinion, it's economic extortion. Just think about it. Imagine one day deciding to start your own business. You've saved up all this money and invested it all into this one big idea. You're taking on a huge risk. And as you navigate the daily struggles of running a business, a bad actor sneaks into your store without you ever noticing. They quietly start collecting coupons from your customers and start handing them out at your checkout counter. Then, one day, you notice a customer with a voucher that was clearly never intended for them, and you have absolutely no idea how they got it. But when you eventually catch the culprit and demand that they leave your store, they refuse, and there's nothing you can do about it. Knowing this, the bad actor leverages the harm they manufactured by strong-arming you into signing a partnership deal, where the only way to stop the damage they created is by paying them. Honey's business model starts to make a lot more sense now, doesn't it? It makes sense why they dragged 146,000 stores onto their platform and kept quiet about it. Because by doing so, they wedged themselves between those stores and their customers, disrupting, interfering, and ultimately taking control over their coupon strategies. And the only way for those stores to regain some of that control is by paying Honey. I mean, why else would any of these stores partner with and pay Honey if they're already on the platform for free? The answer is simple. The stores don't pay for inclusion, they pay for exclusion, for damage control. It makes sense. Now, to be clear, I'm not suggesting that all of Honey's 35,000 partnered stores were coerced into joining their platform. I'm sure many signed up willingly. After all,
more the big ones. I mean, it really makes sense for like larger stores. Like if you're Amazon or fucking some other company that is, generating millions or billions of dollars of revenue with millions of customers.
Honey does offer a cashback program, which some stores genuinely like to offer users. And just look at the glowing case studies on Honey's website. Some of the numbers they throw around make partnering with Honey look like an absolute no-brainer. Increased average order value, reduced cart abandonment, that's music to the ears of any e-commerce store owner. But of course, if the benefits were truly as good as they say, you'd expect that brands who partner with Honey never look back, right? Well, here's a little statistic Honey doesn't want brands to see, and it's from their own data. This right here is a list of stores that, at some point, tried a partnership with Honey, then decided, yeah, no thanks, and ended the partnership. There's 15,000 of them. That's 15.
Well, because they were probably just giving codes out and then they were losing money and it didn't drive any new customers or increase traffic.
1,000 brands.
So they were just paying Honey to do fucking the same shit that they were already doing.
That at some point we're partnered with Honey, but no longer are. And this is based on the limited data I have access to. The actual number is potentially a lot higher. I think that says